Welcome to a video segment of the Albuquerque Police Department's 2011 Annual Report.
Hello and welcome. I'm Tim Gonterman, Commander of the Professional Standards Division. Thank you for taking the time and showing the interest in our division today. I'd like to take this time to share with you the accomplishments of the men and women of the Professional Standards Division, and I will turn this over to our lieutenants and let them share with you their accomplishments over the last year.
Hello, I'm Fernando Aragon, Lieutenant of the Support Services Section. My section is responsible for several support functions of the Albuquerque Police Department. Criminal Nuisance Abatement Team this year, headed by Sergeant Tom Sadler, was able to put together a database in order to track problem properties, owners, and occupants for further follow-up. Along with that database, we're also able to issue monthly reports to the commanders for them to follow up and be aware of the properties being worked in each area command. As well, the Nuisance Abatement Unit worked on several prop projects with the area command impact teams and was instrumental in helping to arrest several sexual predators with the use of city housing. The Court Services Unit, headed by Helen Rogers, has had a busy year. Scanners have been installed in all the area commands as well as the Prisoner Transport Unit to assist in DA discovery for DWI breath cards as well as domestic violence statements. An MOU was also signed with the District Attorney's Office for transport orders. That keeps the field officers from going and spending time and waiting in line to file the transport orders in order to get the offenders to court when they're incarcerated in other areas. We also started a call-in list that has been distributed monthly to each area commander so they can track problem officers that are continuously calling into court. Some of the numbers that were accomplished this year by the Court Services Section: 1,638 pretrials were scheduled, 5,443 arraignments were processed, 3,805 felony cases were submitted to the DA's office, and over 37,000 officer prosecution cases were filed. The False Alarm Unit, headed by Patty French, has been instrumental in actually going after problem owners that refuse to actually pay their fines and fees associated with false alarms. Enforcement has been being done, and owners of businesses are actually being issued citations for not complying with the ordinance. Also, a Cry Wolf update was done, which allows us to implement online account tracking and information for customers throughout the city to be able to pull up their own accounts and view the history of their false alarms. The Telephone Report Unit, headed by Carolyn Sanchez. With the Telephone Report Unit, we were able to put CopLogic kiosks in 3 area command substations at this point. Our goal would be to continue that throughout the year and make sure every substation has one of those. What those do is assist the citizen in filing online reporting, and it saves officers from being able to respond to those calls that are just needed for insurance purposes. The field hours saved by the Telephone Report Unit this year was over 25,000, and the monetary savings was over $385,000. Thank you for your time.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Jeff Remington with the Albuquerque Police Department's Records Division. There are 4 main goals that I'm going to talk to you about today that the Records Division accomplished in 2011. The first is a curriculum development program that Don Lewis, our main supervisor in report review, developed. He looked at the curriculum from past software programs that we'd had for our records management system and compared it to what we have today with our Tiburon records management system. And he updated all of the curriculum so that the students, both new hires and our current employees, have a more effective way to learn the records management system. So basically, they're able to get into their jobs a lot quicker, and not only that, but the employees that are there, they're always learning what the latest and greatest things to come from Tiburon, updates to their software and things like that. So congratulations to Don Lewis for doing that for the Records Division. The next area is IPRA. It's the Inspection of Public Records Act. In recent months, the Albuquerque Police Department has been tasked with many outside requests for information. It was necessary and long overdue for us to have a database to track all of these IPRA requests so that we had accountability and we could see trends in what people were asking for. So Mr. Ronaldo Chavez developed a database and he's tracking all of our IPRA requests. And again, it's about customer service, and so we're able to get those requests turned around and accurate out to the people that are requesting them. The next thing I'd like to talk about is the UCR, the Uniform Crime Report. About February or March, the FBI puts out statistics that they collect from police departments all over the country. And our statistics are very accurate, and we work right up to the wire to make sure that those statistics that we provide to the FBI are the sharpest that we can provide. And so we're very proud of all of the work, the hard work that the data entry units, report review, and then of course the UCR units do to make sure that all of those statistics are spot on and that they comply with all of the FBI's very stringent rules for reporting. This year, we're going to provide those statistics even sooner because of a plan that Commander Gonterman put together when he was lieutenant of the Records Division. It was benchmarked performance standards and made sure that every employee that works in those divisions had a structure to provide those statistics to the FBI. So hats off to them. The last thing, and the thing that I'm most proud of, is a division-wide effort for charity. The Albuquerque Police Department is more than just sworn people. There are a lot of civilians that positively contribute to the community every day, and so I was very honored to work with them just for the short time that I did on several projects for charity. The first was we gathered employees in the entire section, put it out, and they wanted to collect turkeys for homeless people for Thanksgiving. They were able to get 33 turkeys, which were provided to Joy Junction. We had employees that went out and solicited for blankets. We were able to collect 40 blankets, and actually that's an ongoing drive that we have down in Records. So we were able to collect 40 blankets to date for the homeless people, again, for Joy Junction. $200 was raised for Toys for Tots. 13 boxes for Christmas dinners were collected for the chaplain's unit. He had a challenge, and many of the Records employees rose to the occasion. And then Movember for men's cancer research. The Records Division, and that's why I don't have a lot of hair right now, I told them that I would shave my hair if they raised over $3,000 for the Movember effort. And 11 employees actively joined the team for Movember. They raised $3,382. We were in second place for the entire public safety network. But again, very proud of their efforts. They're a great bunch of people, and they represent the community very well. Thank you for your time.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Anthony Montano, Director of Training for the Albuquerque Police Academy. I'd like to take a few minutes to tell you about the Academy's accomplishments and highlights for 2011. Our Wellness Unit, headed by Mr. J.D. Mays, was selected as our Wellness Coordinator for 2011 and basically hit the ground running, doing a lot of brand new ideas, bringing them to the Academy. He restructured our APD cadet physical training curriculum with an increased emphasis on injury prevention and the optimal improvement of strength, cardiovascular endurance, and flexibility. Physical fitness levels of the cadets that graduated in 2011 have also shown a higher level or average from previous years. J.D. Mays has also extended the wellness program to include the civilian personnel within the APD to increase their fitness levels and wellness as well. Our polygraph unit, it's run by 2 polygraphers. In 2011, they conducted 247 polygraphs for the year. This is 116 more polygraphs than what they have completed in previous years. These polygraphs were conducted for pre-employment criminal investigations and a few of them for outside agencies as well. Detective Christine Frank, in addition to her duties as a polygraph examiner, is also the drug recognition expert coordinator for the state of New Mexico. She is often requested to teach and give presentations throughout the country, for that matter. Our recruiting and background unit. In 2011, the recruiting unit answered approximately 3,200 interest cards. After extensive testing and background investigations that were conducted, 50 cadets, 13 PSAs, and 8 prisoner transport officers were selected and started their respective academies. Recruiting and background detectives also conducted numerous civilian background investigations for other city departments as well. Recruiting unit attended over 81 recruiting events in 2011, which included several universities around the state and in Texas. Relationships were established and enhanced with military installations around the state, which also included states in the western region. Recruiting was very aggressive with the military personnel, anticipating a large applicant pool with those service members that were separating from duty at the time. Advertising campaigns were enhanced to include radio advertisement, local magazines, the NAACP conference, the internet, and several sporting events. Our basic training unit consistently provided top-notch instruction to our cadets in 2011. The basic training curriculum is dictated by the Department of Public Safety, which requires 796 hours of classroom instruction to become certified as a police officer. The APD Academy provided 983 hours of instruction, which is 187 additional hours of instruction that is required by DPS. The additional hours were concentrated in reality-based training scenarios, verbal de-escalation techniques, and scenario-based training provided by our Behavioral Sciences Division. The cadets received realistic training dealing with people in crisis and subjects with various mental health issues. And a mentorship program was also created for the cadets. This was implemented to assist the cadets with their career development as they progressed as future officers of APD. Our West Side and tactical ranges. The range staff developed and implemented several scenario-based decisional shoot courses during day and low light conditions. The staff incorporated verbal dialogue, tactical use of cover, and de-escalation techniques into most of the training courses that were provided. Training was enhanced to replicate real-life events with a greater emphasis on decision-making. This is something that we have never done at the ranges. All the range training has typically been your typical go out to the range and shoot. So there was a lot of innovative training that took place at the range. In addition to the numerous firearm courses that were offered at the range staff also developed 2 new courses of fire, an enhanced pistol and an enhanced rifle course. Our advanced training unit. This is one of the biggest accomplishments in 2011 was the implementation of a professional development series. This allowed officers to receive training from the different units within the department, and the goal of this series was to allow officers to gain knowledge into those respective units in APD, which would assist them with their career development as well. Coincidentally, this became a recommendation of the PERF in 2011. The Advanced Training Unit also implemented a mental health series aimed at training not only sworn personnel, but also our civilian employees who regularly have contact with the public. These classes included hearing voices, active listening, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Approximately 64 different training courses were hosted at the APD in 2011. This was almost doubled from the previous year. In addition to all these courses, Department of Public Safety mandated MOE training was provided to over 2,500 officers from around the state. 2 new firearms training simulators, Megit, were also purchased in 2011, and they were introduced into this MOE curriculum. The APD Academy, we continue to be the premier regional training facility in New Mexico. In 2011, the APD Training Academy provided more man-hours of training than the rest of the state combined. One of the biggest accomplishments for the entire academy was our fundraising efforts and the efforts that we used to reach out to the community. Some of those included fundraising such as Tip a Cop. We hosted 2, raising over $10,000 for charities of the Cadets' Choice at that time. We also participated in Special Olympics, again raising close to $10,000 in money for Special Olympics as well. We held 3 junior police academies, which hosted training to over 120 of our youth, giving them ideas and basically a real-life training opportunities that they might be able to have later on, stuff that police officers actually go through on a daily basis. And then we hosted our first annual Cuts for Kids, where we offered free haircuts to the surrounding community, children from around the city of Albuquerque, and they're provided with gift bags and book bags as well. The APD Academy staff, we work diligently to meet all of our 2011 goals, and we will continue to recruit the best of the best, produce the finest cadets, and continue to provide quality instruction to all of our personnel. Thank you.